Hello everybody! Today we're going to be working with collage, and a collage is when you cut things out. They could be shapes, they could be pictures, and you glue them down to another paper to make a picture. Well, our picture is going to be of a snowman in a snow globe. And you'll have a lot of choice during this lesson. I'm just going to show you how to start, and then when you get to the snowman part, it's really going to be up to you. So this is what mine ended up looking like, and I'm going to show you the first steps of getting there. So let me set this aside. And the first thing you're going to get is a piece of dark blue paper, and you're going to put your name on the back, of course, and you're going to get two smaller white papers, and one you can see is bigger than the other. And I know white is kind of hard to see in the camera, but I'm going to start with my bigger piece, and I'm going to be cutting along the top here. And I want you to think about the background of a landscape, of a snowy landscape. So these are going to be, rather than just a straight line, it's just going to be kind of a very soft, wavy line. Okay, and you can see I did not cut off very much. So there's one. And we're not doing any gluing yet because there's still something else we have to do. Now we're going to take my other, and same thing. This is going to be the foreground. Oops. So I'm cutting some gentle curved lines. All right. This one I seem to cut off a little bit more than the other. That's all right. And they're going to end up here, but before we do that, I'm going to remove my blue paper because we're going to be using some chalk pastel. And you're going to get a cup of 2 colors of chalk pastel. And a lot of times when an artist is doing a snow scene, the snow itself ends up looking kind of bluish. So we're going to worry about just this top edge, and we're going to make it look a little bluish. And we're going to start with the light blue. And of course this is a chalk pastel. So it's going to be a little dusty, but thankfully we only have to use a little bit. Now once I have the light blue, I can use my finger or a Kleenex, and I'm just going to smudge that line. Okay, now I'm going to go with the darker blue, and I'm going to go just a little bit of that dark blue right at the edge. And again, I'm going to blend that. Okay, so my hands are a little messy. You might want to have toweling or a tissue to clean it. So there's this one done, the background. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the foreground. And I start with the light blue. Blend it a bit. And then take the dark blue. So you don't want to completely cover the light blue that you originally did. You're just doing a smaller area with that dark blue. And then we just blend it. Okay, so now it's a whole lot easier to see when you stack them together. All right, so now I'm ready for glue. I would definitely clean your hands before you do this. And I'm going to take my blue paper, and I'm going to glue the larger one first. And I'm going to flip it over and put my glue on. And line it up, down at the bottom. Okay. Now you notice that I didn't press down with my hands. I'm going to show you what we're going to do instead. So put the other one in place. And because we're working with chalk pastel, we want to really think about being neat and not getting our fingerprints all over this. All right, so now what I'm going to do, and I do not have a blank, well, here's a blank piece of paper. I'm going to take, and you're going to take, a blank piece of paper that's all clean, and you're going to take your landscape, the beginning part of your landscape, flip it over, And this is going to, and then you just press down, this is going to really make sure that the glue really sticks on and in place, and it's also going to make it where you're not going to mess up those chalk pastels. So now I'm going to flip it around, and voila, it is ready for the next step. Now in the next lesson video, because this went kind of long, I'm going to show you how you add your snowman.